I've had the blessing or the pleasure to do a lot of national media. I think at the end of January I was featured in Essence magazine, and there was an article that they syndicated talking about how do you know that you found the perfect man. A couple of weeks ago, I'm an expert for this show on TV One called Fatal Attraction, and we were talking about a young woman who was murdered because, almost like in Romeo and Juliet, there was this play at this young woman, Jennifer Lewis was her name. She fell in love with what she thought was a safe bet, a man that was in the church, spiritual man, a man that ended up having to get her killed. And when they found the woman that was behind orchestrating her murder, they found her in his bedroom. Yeah, so everything isn't as it appears. So Rick, I want to ask a couple of questions. When you look at the disintegration of relationships and where people tend to derail, do you think what we're doing is imitating what we've seen a caregiver do, or listening to the media and the music and the things that are being scripted on television? Or are we just the victims of a defunct society and we're trying to grab at straws as it relates to finding real authentic love?
Well, it's a little bit of both when we have the love and hip hops and all the rest of this nonsense that's on TV that if you watch it, you won't think it will mold and shape your mind, but it's molding and shaping your mind, your children's minds, and everyone else's mind that is attached to it. But as we look at the bad examples that we have for ourselves, we look at the 15 million single-parent, women-ran households and how our children are being raised. It affects everything in regards to the dynamic of the relationship. And as we move forward in relationships, one thing that I've noticed that makes the relationships that we have now not the best is that we're not communicating. Communication is one of the biggest forms that they say it's infidelity, they say it's money. Communication needs to be on that list. Because if we're not communicating, how can we coexist together? That's one major problem. Another major problem is that we're not being forthcoming in our relationships in regards to saying what's on your mind when something is wrong or right. Hey, this is what's going on, this is how I feel about it, and let's not yell, let's dialogue about it. Let's dialogue about it like responsible adults, and let's come to a happy medium, or you're right and I'm wrong, and we're not holding over each other's heads. And in that, take off the mask. Don't wear the mask and be like, everything's okay, and then you leave and it's really not. Men and women do that. Let's address the situation, address the issues at hand, and see where we can go to be successful. And we're not doing that. We need to get back to doing that, like our mamas and papas and everybody else back in the day when love and relationships were cherished, when everybody wasn't expendable, and you could go on to the next one. We have to get back to the old days in regards to structure and how we move forward in relationships, friendships, business, and everything else, especially in the Afro-American community.